Have you ever wondered if XRP hitting $20 would just be the tip of the iceberg? Well, hold on tight, because this might just flip everything you thought about crypto on its head. Today we're going to be diving into a bold claim that could change the way that you see cryptocurrency investments. Just picture this, a world where XRP isn't just another digital coin, but a powerhouse set to skyrocket far beyond what most people imagine. Now, in this video, we're going to break down the views from 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, the guy behind 𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗏, who thinks that hitting $20 for XRP is just the starting point. By the end of our chat here today, you're going to get a full lowdown of why Farina believes that early investors who miss out on buying at least more XRP could potentially regret their decisions, just like those who cashed out of Bitcoin way too soon. Now, we're going to be exploring every angle here, from historical comparisons with Bitcoin to the challenges and the debates swirling around this idea. Now, let's jump into what makes this claim so exciting. Now, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 took to X and kind of dropped a bit of a bombshell. Now, he suggested that reaching a $20 price tag for XRP, it is not the finish line. It's actually the green light to even bigger gains. So let's think about it, right? If you had known a decade ago that Bitcoin would eventually hit six figures, well, you probably wouldn't have sold at $500, right? Well, Farina's point is exactly that. He believes that selling XRP now, when it's kind of sitting at around $2.36 or so, it's actually like selling your ticket to a roller coaster ride just before the kind of big kind of finale. Now, in his kind of view, those who cash out too early are setting themselves up for major regret further down the road. So let's break this down just a little bit more. Now, when you take a look at the very early days of Bitcoin, it was a wild and uncertain time. Early adopters who sold when Bitcoin was only a few $100s now kind of have to live with the fact that they've missed out on an explosive journey. Now, Farina draws a parallel to XRP here, suggesting that if you sell now, you might actually be missing your shot at an even bigger payout. Just imagine being at a theme park and leaving the biggest ride because you were afraid of a small drop in your stomach. Now, that's essentially the mindset that he's kind of warning against. Now, to put things into perspective here, consider this, right? For XRP to move from its current price to $20, it needs to grow by about 750%. That's not a small leap. It's actually a massive jump that would require widespread adoption, significant technological breakthroughs, or perhaps some major shifts in the financial world. And yet, Farina seems unfazed by this steep climb. Instead, he's confident that this is only the kind of beginning of a much longer and wider and wilder kind of journey for XRP. He even mentions that when the price hits $20, he wouldn't be cashing out, he'd be buying more. That's a strong statement about his belief in XRP's future potential. So let's kind of talk a little bit here about the heart of his argument. Now, Farina uses a simple but powerful analogy. If you knew 10 years ago that Bitcoin would hit $100,000, you probably wouldn't have sold it at $500, right? Now, his kind of answer is a resounding kind of no to that, right? You wouldn't do it. Now, that's the kind of exact logic that he's trying to apply to XRP. Now, he's essentially saying that just because kind of Bitcoin's early value skyrocketed beyond what many investors anticipated, XRP too has the potential to break free from its current limitations and surge to new heights. It's kind of a comparison that makes you wonder, what if history is about to repeat itself in the crypto world? Now, not everyone is on board with this very optimistic view. Some market watchers and technical analysts, like well-known, or at least one known simply as kind of JD, has actually raised concerns. Now, JD and others, they believe that, waiting until XRP hits $20 might actually be the worst time to invest. Now, they see that point as kind of a bit of a peak. A moment when the market could actually be overheating and ripe for kind of a correction. Now, according to these critics, buying at those prices might actually expose investors to significant risks. They would worry that once XRP reaches that kind of level, well, the market might pull back hard, leaving latecomers with losses instead of gains. It's a classic case of high risk, high reward, and not everyone is ready to kind of take the gamble. It's also worth noting that crypto is a sum-zero game. Essentially, you're buying coins cheaper in the expectation that you're going to be selling them to someone else at a higher price. internet magical money doesn't actually exist. Ultimately, you're just buying something that you think is going to go up in value so that you can sell it to someone else who also believes it will go up in value. So at some point, someone is going to be buying your XRP tokens from you at a higher price. That raises a few ethical questions, I guess, but it is the world that we live in. So, what does all of this mean, I guess, for someone like you, right, who might actually be considering whether to hold on to XRP or to buy more? Well, it boils down to your appetite for risk and your faith in the long-term potential of the cryptocurrency market. 𝗕𝗓𝗪's argument is that if you truly believe in the technology and the transformative power of digital currencies, then you should be prepared to kind of weather the ups and the downs. He kind of points out that the early days of Bitcoin were filled with volatility and uncertainty, yet those who stuck with it and stuck it out, well, are now celebrating astronomical gains. His message is clear. Don't be tempted to take a small profit when you could be in store for something much bigger further down the line. Now, let's take a moment to imagine what a future with a kind of much higher XRP price actually look like, or at least might look like, right? Picture a world where digital currencies have become mainstream, where banks and financial institutions have integrated blockchain technology into their everyday operations, and where XRP plays a key role in facilitating lightning-fast global payments. Now, in that scenario, well, the value of XRP could be driven by more than just speculative trading. It could be backed by real-world utility and trust. Now, 𝗕𝗓𝗪's envisioning here is such a future, right? Suggesting that once XRP kind of proves its worth as a reliable and efficient payment method, well, its price could skyrocket well beyond the modest $20 mark. He even goes as far as hinting that a kind of price of $10,000 per token isn't out of the question in the long term. Now, this is where the conversation gets really interesting. On one hand, you have this optimistic view that sees XRP as a game changer in the financial world, a coin that could redefine how we think about money. And on the other hand, you have critics who are arguing caution, reminding investors that the road to crypto success is often paved with volatility, hype, and unpredictable market swings. It's a tug of war between hope and caution, a battle of perspectives that has kind of been raging in the crypto community for years. But now let's dig a little bit deeper into the numbers and the logic behind this optimism. If we go back to Bitcoin's early days, many people were skeptical about its kind of long-term viability. The market was small, the technology was unproven, and there was a lot of uncertainty. Yet, as adoption grew and the world began to kind of see the potential of blockchain technology, Bitcoin's value soared. Early investors who held on despite the ups and the downs eventually found themselves in a position that most could only ever dream of, right? And, well, 𝗕𝗓𝗪 is kind of drawing a direct line, from that story to XRP, right? Suggesting that if you have the vision to see beyond today's prices and the patience to wait for the long game, then XRP could offer returns that dwarf what you might actually get from kind of short-term trading. Now, this kind of thinking is not without its risks, though, right? Because the crypto market is notorious for its wild swings, and nothing is ever guaranteed. Critics like JD, they worry that if too many investors jump on the bandwagon at the $20 mark, well, the market might become saturated, leading to a bubble that could burst just as quickly as it kind of inflates. It's kind of classic dilemma in investing, right? Balancing the lure of high rewards, against the potential for equally high losses. For those who have already invested in XRP at the lower prices, the idea of doubling or even tripling their money is incredibly tempting. But, for those new to this scene, right, the risks might be, well, overwhelming. So that's an interesting kind of take. But what's truly fascinating about this debate is that it kind of encapsulates the broader question about the future of money in itself, right? Cryptocurrencies, with all of their promises and unpredictability, force us to rethink what we kind of consider valuable. If, is it kind of the kind of physical money that we hold in our wallets, or is it the digital tokens that represent a new way of transacting in an increasingly connected world? Now, Farina's vision for XRP is not just about hitting a specific price point. It's about, ushering in a new era where digital currencies become at least an integral part of our financial lives. Now, in his view, reaching $20 is merely a stepping stone towards a future where XRP is as common in our transactions as cash is today. But let's pause here for a moment and talk about the emotional side of the whole discussion, right? Because investing isn't just about numbers and charts, right? It's about hope, fear, and sometimes even a little bit of stubborn optimism. So let's think back to any time that you've kind of been a part of a big trend. Maybe it was the .com boom, or perhaps it was a new technology that promised change to change everything, right? There's always a moment of hesitation, a voice in your head that says, what if it all falls apart? And that's the challenge here too, right? Because on one side, you have the kind of thrill of potentially being part of a massive financial revolution. And on the other hand, the fear of getting caught in a market downturn. Now, Farina's message is that if you believe in the long-term potential of XRP, then you need to overcome the fear and look at the bigger picture. It's like planting a tree. You won't see the shade immediately, but if you nurture it, one day you'll have a cool spot to relax in the heat. It's also kind of worth noting that the crypto community is filled with stories of both triumph and caution. There are plenty of tales of early investors who've become overnight millionaires, as well as cautionary tales of those who got in at the wrong time and lost out big time. Now, these stories, they kind of serve as a reminder that while the rewards can be massive, the risks are just as real. What sets apart the success stories from the failures is often the ability to kind of look beyond the immediate fluctuations and focus on the long-term trends. Farina's perspective is firmly in the long-term camp, right? He's not looking for quick wins here. He's betting on a future where XRP transforms into something that most people can't even imagine today. So as we kind of consider this, one thing becomes very clear. The crypto world is not for the faint-hearted, right? It demands that you keep your eyes open, learn as much as you can, and be ready for both the ups and the downs. If you're someone who loves the thrill of a ride, but who is maybe are not afraid of a little bit of risk for kind of the chance to kind of hit a big payoff, well, then maybe the idea of XRP's explosive future will excite you. But if you're more cautious and prefer steady, predictable returns, then the volatile nature of cryptocurrencies, well, it might actually not be for you, and you might want to give it a pause. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here, right? It all comes down to your personal approach to investing and how much risk you are willing to handle. In the end, Farina's prediction that XRP could one day soar to values like $10,000 per token, it isn't just a number. It's a symbol of hope and a challenge to conventional thinking. It forces us to ask ourselves, what if we're looking at money in a completely different way in the near future? While many remain skeptical, the fact that such discussions are happening at all shows just how dynamic and unpredictable the crypto market can be. Whether you're an early investor or someone who's just getting started, the conversation around XRP's potential is a reminder that the future is full of surprises, and sometimes those surprises can be life-changing. So, as you sit back and you think about this, right, remember that every investment comes with its own set of risks and rewards. The key is to stay informed, keep an open mind, and be ready to act when the moment is right. Farina's message is clear. Don't be too quick to cash out when you only see a small profit, because the real rewards might actually be just around the corner. It's like all about having the vision to kind of see what could be, even when everyone else is focused on right now. So if you've ever kind of felt that kind of twinge of regret for missing out on something big, let this kind of be a lesson. Instead of letting that fear drive your decisions, take a step back. Take a look at the trends and consider what might happen if you hold on just a little bit longer. History has a funny way of repeating itself, and the story of Bitcoin is proof of that. Just imagine if you had held onto that coin instead of selling it at a fraction of its current potential, or at least of its potential value. That kind of missed opportunity is the very kind of thing that Farina wants to warn you against with XRP. This discussion today, it isn't just about the numbers on a screen, it's about dreaming big and taking calculated risks. It's about understanding that sometimes the best rewards, they come from stepping outside your comfort zone and embracing the unknown. So whether you kind of decide to hold on to your XRP, buy more when it hits $20, for example, or even wait for a better opportunity, right? Make sure that your decision is backed by research and a willingness to ride out the storm, because in the end, the crypto market is as much about resilience as it is about strategy. So think about what you would do if you were in the shoes of an early Bitcoin investor who saw the future coming. Would you be, would you have been the one to hold on through all of that turbulence, or would you have been the one to give in to the fear and take the easy way out? Now, Farina believes that being brave and looking ahead is the key to unlocking the full potential of digital currencies like XRP. And while not everyone agrees with his take, it's undeniable that his words kind of challenge us to kind of think about, bigger and obviously look past the immediate gains that we see. It might be easy to kind of dismiss these ideas as kind of hype or wishful thinking, but sometimes it's exactly that kind of bold vision that pushes industries forward. Whether it's XRP that will reach $20 tomorrow, or whether it will take years to climb up to $20, right? The conversation itself is a sign of how far digital currencies have come. We're no longer a fringe experiment, right? But in serious kind of contenders in the global financial arena. And as more people start to see the potential behind these coins, well, the opportunities and the risks will only grow. So what do you think? Is XRP's $20 mark just the beginning of a wild ride that could lead to unimaginable heights, or is it just a bubble waiting to burst? You can let us know in the comments down below, or join us in the 3 Discord. Let your own instincts guide you, and of course, remember that every decision in the world of crypto is built in a kind of a leap of faith, or off a leap of faith. One thing's for sure though, right? The conversation isn't going away anytime soon. And whether you're a die-hard crypto fan or a kind of a cautious observer, there's no denying that we're living through some of the most exciting times in financial history. So keep an eye on the trends, listen to different opinions, and never be afraid to do your own research. After all, the future of money might just depend on your ability to see beyond the horizon and embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. If you found this update useful and informative, smash that like button for me, guys. Let's get those likes up and spread the word about XRP far and wide. If you want to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date, use the button down below. And guys, if you want to check out some of the other things going on with XRP, you want to check out that video right there.